It's a promise you made to me, and I want you to keep your promise. I don't want to hear anymore. We're being attacked. We see them coming. We agree, right? You will mobilize your people to dig trenches and protect yourselves. By the time the machines arrive at your place, to deepen the trenches and do it. It's you who defend the communities, the villages. If you get there, you tell them, get out. We're digging here. The enemy must not roll through here. We dig deep, we close it off, and we settle over there.
Now, let's get ready for the second and final broadcasting of the day in 3, 2, 1. Now, listen up. If there is anything we want as Africans and as black people around the globe right now than any other thing, anything else, it is revolution. And this revolution will come if we are going to observe the things that we are being told. I want you to listen to the speech that Ibrahim Traore gave, and this speech, I really found it very fundamental, because it is a speech that it is not only about the personal things, it's about saving the nation, it's about saving the continent. Okay? But you know, the problem we have sometimes is when we do not want to listen to the things we are being told. Because, for example, personally, me as an individual, if there is someone I can never even try not to listen to, is someone like Ibrahim Traore. You have seen what Ibrahim Traore has been doing so far. And all Africa is talking about Ibrahim Traore. The world is talking about Ibrahim Traore, either positively or negatively. Because of course we have people who are talking about him negatively. People who do not like what he's doing. Most likely the enemies and many other people. But people who like what he is doing are talking about him positively, which means the whole world is still talking about Ibrahim Traore, whether negatively or positively. That means this is a guy and a man who has a certain impact in the society. Right now, as we're talking today, we are having people who are, yes, fighting for the revolution of Africa, for the revolution of the black people around the globe. But the person that we are looking into mostly is Ibrahim Traore, because he is already making steps. He is already making steps, and he is already moving somewhere. He has already started moving, okay? What are we supposed to do? We are supposed to sit down and listen to people like this one. Because if we don't listen, that means we are ditching holes for our own selves. And these holes we are ditching for our own selves, we are ditching ourselves into these holes we are digging ourselves. It means it's going to be very difficult for us to extract ourselves out of these holes. Listen, Ibrahim Traore, he is a man who is very polite sometimes. And he is very polite because he wants people to see sense in everything he is saying. If he tells you do this, come on, let's do it. Let's not behave like puppets who go everywhere. Like their work is just to move around and showcasing themselves to the enemies and to the imperialists so that they can be able to be given something, or rather for their own benefits. No. We need to be people who listen, people who are ready to learn, people who are ready to move forward. Let's not be ignorant. Let's be obedient. Ibrahim Traore said, a country cannot be built by people who are disobedient.
Individual freedoms do not take precedence over the freedom of the nation.
Une nation ne se construit pas dans l'indiscipline.
A nation is not built through indiscipline.
Une nation ne se construit pas dans le désordre.
A nation is not built in disorder.
He expects when he tells you do something, you be able to do it. By you doing it, that means you are creating an opportunity, or you are making it possible for every single person, or you're making it possible for this revolution and for this liberation to take place. Because you and I know, we have suffered. You and I know we've gone through tough times. We've gone through hardships. You and I know that Africa is rich, but Africa is still poor. You and I know Africa is wealthy. It has resources. Africa has everything. But again, Africa is the most poor continent in the whole world. Why is it so? It is so because things are happening in this continent that are not good. People are taking advantage of us. People are sitting on our heads. Why? Because we have puppets around. We have people around who are ignorant. People around who don't care. Okay? Who don't want to listen to the people, who don't have the interest of the people. But do not become one of the people who will also join those people who we call themselves puppets, who do not want to listen to the people. You are the people who are suffering. At the end of the day, listen. It's not Ibrahim Traore who is suffering. It is we people who is suffering. That is why Traore today decided, I am going to fight for people. Traore can decide today, let me start stealing money. Let me go back and join hands with the white supremacy. At the end of the day, they will be happy to receive him. And they will say, you know what? Because they know this guy has come back right now. He is a threat to them. If he goes back there and says, I want to work with you, they will receive him with 2 hands. But because Traore loves you, because he has love for you as African people, because he has love for you as the children of Africa, because he has love for the motherland, the love that many other African leaders have not been able to have. We need to support him. When he tells you go left, you go left. When he tells you go right, you go right. Because we already have an understanding that this guy has good intentions with the people of Africa, has good intentions with the black people, has good intentions with the motherland. What are we supposed to do? We are supposed to come out, be the people who are supporting him, be the people who are helping him, working things out in the right way. That is what we're supposed to be doing as African people, not being people that we are the same people that we are going now to continue now making life hard, making things hard. He's trying to pull us out of the problems we are in, and we want to continue. No, let us make his work easier. Make it easy for him to be able to liberate this nation, to revolve this nation. If we can be able to get some other people who have the mind and they have the heart like of Ibrahim Traore, Africa will be revolved. And how can that happen? It can only happen if the people of Africa have decided we want this thing to happen. If we all Africans come out and support Ibrahim Traore, it's going to be very easy for these things to happen, because those who call themselves puppets, they will have nothing else remaining but to join the rest. Because if you can't win them, you join them. That is the spirit that we want. Therefore, let us listen. Let us listen. Because if we don't listen today, tomorrow we shall be in trouble. Let's do it once and for all. That is what I am asking from you. That is what I am asking from you.
80% of my time, it's war. But that doesn't stop us from keeping an eye on the economic life in power. It's a promise you made to me, and I want you to keep your promise. I don't want to hear anymore. We're being attacked. We see them coming. We agree, right? You will mobilize your people to dig trenches and protect yourselves. By the time the machines arrive at your place to deepen the trenches and do it, it's you who defend the communities, the villages. If you get there, you tell them, get out. We're digging here. The enemy must not roll through here. We dig deep, we close it off, and we settle over there. Your own post's there. And at one point I had something worked out and I said, send it to you. Everyone has talked to you about it, the ministers, the BVDP, so that people build, for example, combat posts. Where the rain hasn't really started yet, make the bricks well, build the posts. I asked for images of the different posts in some villages. And I saw that some have done it with laziness as well. You can't have a post even if you've built all that down there. And there, your head is out. How are you fighting? Well, the image we sent shows there are loopholes. These are the holes through which you have to fight. And when we say to build posts, we don't mean to build just 1 or 2. It needs to be done all around the village, because combat isn't just about one position. Others are building 3 or 4 posts. That's good for the village. No! Get the villagers out, have them build. We provided some models. But tell me, just between us, you know, there are many unbuilt positions. No. What am I supposed to do? Do I have to come and build it myself in your place? But if I tell you that this thing was thought out in my office, and I got a young officer who made the 3D model, and we spread the word, and I told the different leaders to make sure it gets done. It's because even at every moment we're thinking of you. We're thinking of you. I'm saying there isn't a single incident, attack on the VDP post, or whatever. I'm not aware. There aren't any. Unfortunately, in some areas, people have refused to give themselves up. It's an understanding for our own lives. Who is going to pay you? After, we still shout that there are a minimum of things we should be able to do ourselves. I told you that most of you, like me, were born into a system, a caring system, where a lot is expected from others. But what are we doing ourselves for our country? That's it. That's the question we need to ask ourselves now. When I learned that, I was a bit disappointed. Protect yourself. You're asking them to pay you. He will have the money to pay you. Go out and dig. There are certain towns I followed where I told them to go out and dig. They didn't want to, they stayed, and some even went out. Walking under manipulation, he agrees you will dig. A week later, they dug. Today, these towns are more or less at peace. Anyway, either the enemy comes, he runs into the obstacle you've created, and then you have time to fight him there. If he comes to close in, you need to be there. Because if you dig, it doesn't mean you can sleep. It's about preventing him moving and reaching where he wants. And where he has to pass, you need to be there all the time. If he comes to force his way to redo your work, you need to take him down. But once you're caught off guard, you're no longer a man. To regain the upper hand, it's difficult. And when you see things like that, it hurts. Even if you have a collective weapon and your defense isn't strong, the enemy can roll right up to your position. That's not good. Even if you've built what you're told to build there, without putting up a front, you need to dig the trenches. If he wants to roll in fighting, he has to fall into it. Or he stops over there, he gets down to try to cross, and you have time to adjust your shots. Is that complicated? So there's work to be done. We can't be lazy. You need to mobilize the population. It's not just about you doing your job. All your people need to understand that you are choosing to sacrifice yourself for them. So when you tell them to get out of work, they need to get out. The other day, there was an attack. I followed everything and tried to find out what happened. People were surprised. No. When you have a collective weapon, the first thing is, you must not be caught off guard. You need to see the enemy and get ready to face him. Every time it was attack, attack, attack. I told the pilots to go film to show me. Did they build the posts? Did they dig? No, there wasn't much. There was nothing. So we will force you and you will force them.
I am the African Streamline. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for coming. I love you so much. Adios, muchachos.